Hi everybody and welcome back to another Legends of Runeterra video and gameplay. Today I am bringing you Mechanized Deep. This is a non-traditional, very non-traditional deep deck with Viktor and Nautilus. We are outside of Shadow Isles completely, and as far as Nautilus goes, Piltover and Zaun is probably the best option. But like, if you want another region to actually work him into besides Shadow Isles, pretty much Piltover and Zaun is the only other region that is even possible, just because of the amazing card draw that it offers. You have to get to 15 cards in your deck to go deep, and then your units get a deep buff. Nautilus levels up everything that you need to really work with deep units. You have to be able to cycle through your cards fairly quickly. All right, and because this is a deep deck, we are still running pretty much all of the toss cards that are in Bilgewater, because yeah, we do still want to level up Nautilus as fast as we can. So yeah, you'll notice we got a full set of Drag Dredgers, we got a full set of Jettison, we have Salvage, only 2 Salvage, and then yeah, Nautilus, Shipwreck Quarter, just things that are going to be able to toss cards and allow us to get deep as fast as we can. Now, we're also relying very heavily on treasures in this deck as well. So this is Viktor. Any sort of created card really synergizes well with Viktor. Viktor is a very, very supportive champion in this deck. He is not meant to be a win condition really, although he can turn into one, especially if he becomes elusive with his Hex Core upgrade. It is possible that he becomes one, but really he's just kind of a support champion. He's also there as a decoy a lot of times as well for enemy spells and things like that. And yeah, we're able to kind of use him as a support card for Mechanized Mimic, who funnily enough actually works fairly well in this deck. Now the reason why she works well is because we grant all of our allies keywords onto the Mechanized Mimic when she attacks, and that counts like when they're on the bench as well. They don't even need to attack themselves, only she does. So if the Abyssal Eye is for some reason benched, the Mechanized Mimic will still become elusive and get that elusive ability. Now the second ability in this deep deck, of course, is deep. I have +3/+3 once your deck has had fewer than 15 cards in it, 15 or fewer cards, and she gets another buff on top of that. So she becomes even more buff. She's got elusive. She's able to strike the Nexus for quite a bit of damage. And then we've got, creation cards. So Ballistic Bot, Iterative Improvement, Lost Riches, Viktor, and we've got 2 Chump Lumps as well for Puff Caps. And then we're using that as well for discard fodder for Rummage to help us cycle through our deck. So we don't get to deep as fast as normal deep decks. However, we still get there eventually and fairly quickly. Yeah, so we've got the Slaughter Docks as well, which is just allowing us to go deep faster as well. Just basically a constant generator, and then gives us a sea monster at the end of the game, and a lot of times it's a good one. Every once in a while you get Sea Scarab, which doesn't help us a whole lot, but at the same time we can still have treasures in our deck that the Sea Scarab is going to help us draw out as win condition. So let's look at the treasures really quickly here. There's a lot of good that can come from the treasures. So they are counted as created cards, but if we pull the treasure trove or create it, then we're going to also create 5 random cards in hand. A lot of them are going to have keywords that work with the Mimic ability with Mechanized Mimic, and and then we buff her with each card that we play as well. They're all 0 mana. Plateworm Egg, just filling up our board with some pretty big units, and then Killbreaker is probably the worst one of all, just because we're dealing damage to ourselves. But in some situations it can work pretty well, just because the sea monsters are really hard to kill and get rid of. So Killbreaker itself is okay in certain situations. All right, yeah, and that's about it. So we're just trying to go deep. We get out our late game units, we use treasures and win the game. And actually, this is definitely a meme deck. It almost seems like I need to put an asterisk in front of these videos, but this is definitely a meme deck. But I actually have a lot of success with it, and it's, on top of that, really, really fun to play and really rewarding when it works. I wouldn't say like this is a awful terrible deck, because it's not, but I mean, you definitely shouldn't take it to ranked if you want to be climbing. But there's a lot of good things about this deck, and is a non-traditional way to play deep that I found super exciting and fun. So if that's the type of thing you want, go ahead and play it. If you guys enjoy this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks. Okay, we're going against Z. This is probably an aggro burn deck, and and we aren't very good against aggro burn decks. So I kept iterative improvement on the off chance that we got drag dredgers, and we did, which is amazing. Let's see if he's got Teemo. It always seems like they start out with the cards, right? So yeah, I got it. Okay. Drag dredgers. And we toss in drag dredgers. That is not the best. I think we have to use iterative improvement on this. I don't really like doing that, but I don't really have any other toss cards, so let's go ahead and pass.
Fact, I am superior life form.
It is what it is. But yeah, we want to put this guy out. He's just open attacking, that's fine. If he wants the 1 damage, we'll let him have it. And let's go ahead and put down... Well, we could put down our ballistic bot first if we want. No, we can do that second. This is fine. Oh man, all of our 1-cost cards.
Safety disengaged. Rise metal.
We're only at 27. And
Witness perfection.
yeah, that was a lot of our toss right there. Got salvage in hand, I guess. Let's hope that we don't toss all of the cards that we need, because from here on out, it kind of looks like we're just going to be drawing big units. And that's not very good. Do we attack? I think we do attack here. Okay. That's fine. I'm not super concerned about that. We can put out Viktor pretty safely now. Or we could just use salvage. I think we put out Viktor though, don't we? Could also just use ignition. Let's just use ignition and be done with the round. I think we can put out Viktor this next round, and we should be able to use salvage as well if we need to.
Another day in the field.
Hopefully this guy doesn't have a lot of extra burn. We might put out Abyssal Eye now.
They'll never know what hit 'em.
Okay, well now we're not.
Yeah.
Go ahead and use ignition. Trying to get more things out of him. He's had a thermogenic beam. He did get rid of one though. So let's put out Chompwomp.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
Okay, grasp, that's fine. Kind of why we didn't want to put out the Viktor, in case he had some spells to take out our units. And we're forcing him to use kind of quite a bit here. This is a weird deck if he's trying to go for aggro and stuff. I mean, I guess there are a lot of spells, so it's possible that he has the Puffcap Peddlers and he just hasn't drawn them yet. And I'm really tempted to put out Abyssal Eye. Viktor's really not doing a whole lot for us, so if we can tempt him to use a thermogenic beam on Viktor, actually, I don't think I'm going to be too upset about that. So let's use our Hex Core upgrade. I actually can level them up this round. We got Fearsome. Fearsome is not the best. Since he's got 2 fearsome blockers. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I don't really like this. I probably should have just put out the Abyssal Eye. Ruination? What the? What are you doing? What was that? My mind is blown. I have absolutely no idea what that was. Yeah, we're just...
Reporting in.
That was super strange.
Armed and ready.
Kinda wish I'd have put out the Abyssal Eye now. Should we draw a treasure? We could also use the Mechanized Mimic and draw a treasure. I wish I had more of my toss cards once again. We could draw, it gets us down to 17. There's no jettison. Okay, that's every single jettison, I think. End up getting treasure trove. Do we want to use that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we do want to use it this round, but we want to use our puff caps first. Anything good? Got 2 elusives, and we have a chance to nab. Oh wow, actually we got more than just 2 elusives. Okay, we got Usari. We should have put down the Lounging Lizard first. It really wants us to kill his Teemo. Draw a puff cap. Draw a puff cap.
Always seeking new horizons.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh man, I missed. That would have been funny.
I know another route.
Heavy pockets, huh?
Beg your pardon?
Die, Teemo. I got plenty of elusive units to keep my Nexus protected from his Teemo. There's a puff cap. And we're deep now with a potential elusive unit as well. That's funny. Man, he didn't draw any puff caps. I think he's looking for Ruination and he missed it, so he didn't have enough mana for it anyway.
I am superior
Let's...
life form.
Do we put down Nautilus? At this point, it doesn't matter what we put down. Yeah, our opponent's surrenders. Alright, that was pretty funny. That was probably not the best Teemo deck. I think it was a little bit too all over the place. We got some pretty funny draws there, though. It's like, yeah, I don't want you to lose. We're gonna give you every elusive card there is in the game. Make sure that you can kill this Teemo. We're going to get Stargazer Sasha. Stargazer Sasha. Talia. Zoe. We're getting rid of these 2, although, well, yeah. Actually, I think we get rid of the Rummage as well. Don't have very good fodder. Alright, we end up pulling 2 other Abyssal Eyes. And let's see if we can wait until turn. Oh man, he could, like, potentially destroy my Slaughter Docks.
One star's whoopsie is another spark.
With that. Talia follower, I can't remember the name right now. Desert Naturalist. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh. Ooh, man, that sucks. I think we have to trade the Ballistic Bot. It's fine. He gets. I mean, I kill his unit. We prevent 3 damage. I think that's worth it. I would have liked some fodder for Rummage, but and I think we just go for the Slaughter Ducks here. I'll be able to toss 1, and hopefully he doesn't have the Desert Naturalist, but it is completely possible that he does. All right, and he just is looking to open attack this next round, I believe. If he doesn't, then we can develop the Drug Treasures. And we have a second Ballistic Bot as well, but yeah. I didn't expect him not to develop there. That would have been very unlikely. Oh, man. 2 of my Toss cards. Iterative improvement and jettison. Really sucks. We're at 28.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
Only, what, 13 to go?
Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
Alright. Not the best, but at least we've got some blockers out now.
System upgrade.
Oh, there's jettison. Let's go. Should we go with the Abyssal Eye? Let's go with Abyssal Eye as raw. Yeah, he's probably got a silence, and that's fine. If he wants to trade his out and goat into it, I'm fine with that. It's still the same amount of mana. I mean, he gets a gem out of it, I guess, but that's fine. If he wants to use the silence now, that's better than using it late game when I have like my cards out that can deal a ton of damage. So let's go ahead and use ignition.
A ticket to the gun show.
11 away from deep. Another slaughter docks.
System upgrade.
Lost riches. That's not really what we want to see here, is it?
Trample 'em. Like this.
Inferior design.
And again, I think we just block as much damage as we can. I think we put out Abyssal Eye, and I probably rummage Lost Riches and Ignition. Seven, so we are still a little bit away from being able to. Actually, if we use the Shipwreck Hoarder, and jettison and attack,
Point the way, and I'll make the way.
and we've got actually a decent blocker for this Rune Runner, so let's hope that he doesn't have a second. I mean, actually, if he's got a Hush and he's got to block with the Rune Runner, that's fine. That's a win for us. Lots of card draw, though. I don't think we need to go deep. Actually, maybe I should have just get another blocker. But I kind of wanted to use it as a... Hey, that's not bad. He's open attacked every round. So what are the chances he doesn't? Held Temple. I think we put out the blocker. And now we're deep. So both of these units are big. They can both block into these. It's going to be hard. He can buff up Talia probably. Or no, he buffs up the Rune Runner that we can still kill, by the way. Ooh, stun is nice. I think this is fine. And hope he doesn't have another stun, because we're forced to put out a second Shipwreck Hoarder. Don't really have anything else I can do. Nice! That actually was really good for us. Ooh, man, we are in a really good spot all of a sudden. Targon Shurima. So Mechanized Mimics coming out. We've got an elusive, and we probably play Treasure Trove if he has any way to stun my units now. No rally, so there's the stuns. That's fine. We kind of expected that to happen, right? So we just go with the Treasure Trove now. And let's just try to get an elusive unit. So we forced him to use that defensively as well, which is great. Did we get anything good? Cadrigan. It's pretty good. Doesn't look like we got any elusive units though. Just wanted to level up Talia maybe. It's kind of weird. And we probably want to play the Icefell Archer on Rune Runner here. Force him to play a ton of cards. Actually, do we want to? Wish I had some. Doesn't matter. Matters a little bit. Wish I had one more mana for Rummage. I think I need these blockers though.
A chill in the air. Unparalleled skill.
Hold still.
And yeah, quick note here. It doesn't matter if this unit doesn't attack. This actually gets all of allies' keywords. So even if they're stunned, our unit still gets it, which is really good. Vaults of Helia. I don't think we want to use that.
Oh, I can't wait.
Alright, that should be it. So hopefully he doesn't have any more stuns here. But we got some really bulky units for this Overwhelm unit. And he's down to 4 cards as well.
Put on a brave face.
We could actually use... He kills Cadrigan, so we actually want to go like this, right? Or does it matter? It's 10 compared to 6. Yeah, we want to block like this and make sure to kill this Thalia. Force him to use some spells at the very least. Silence target potentially would be on the Abyssal Eye, but he can still kill the Trickster, and our opponent surrenders. There we go. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah, I really like that. So that's one thing a lot of people don't know, because Mechanized Mimic actually doesn't get a lot of use, a lot of play in normal decks. And there's a reason for that. It's kind of coming out late, and you need to build a deck very specifically around it, and also keywords and stuff. But yeah, it's cool because it gets the deep keyword, so it gets buffed from the deep. It gets elusive from the unit, even if it doesn't attack, which is great. And then yeah, I just have 2 elusive units, and I'm able to block his elusives. Pretty cool. This is definitely a meme deck, but it's still pretty fun and rewarding when it works. Okay, we're going against another deep deck, against our modified deep deck. Who does it better? I can almost guarantee you that the standard deep deck is a little bit better. However, I don't know that he's going to be able to know how to deal with us, since we are very, very strange. He's obviously going to be able to get the deep before us. He's going to be able to destroy our cards. However, we can put treasures back into our deck, which is pretty good. And how often do they not start with the Dreg Treasures? I guess at least this game they didn't. Hapless Aristocrat. We drew all 3 of our ballistic bots, plus an iterative improvement. So it'll only take until round 7 before we can, well, more than that. No, round 7, right?
Once slice that paper
No, maybe
now
8.
faces.
You gotta be able to use them.
Disengaged. Witness
You gotta
perfection,
rummage though, that's funny.
meatbags.
Lost riches.
Give me the stuff. Stuff make happy.
He didn't draw it. Good for us.
Can you improve perfection? Join me if you want to live.
And we probably just go for this, right?
Waits.
Please, I have connections.
Take out as many of his cards as we can. He's got 4 left. Ooh, he's leaving it alive? Yeah, that seems right. He usually run Vile Beast, so I don't really see why he wouldn't block there. Seems like the appropriate action. Alright, so we got an elusive.
Ooh, fresh soil.
Not really
I am superior life.
incentivized to use these. So that's fine. Honestly, I say we just rummage them. Jettison and Nautilus. Okay.
Safety disengaged.
Man, I would have liked another.
Can you improve perfection? Rise, metal brethren.
What's he got? He's got his own Jettison. Yeah, he's tossing cards a lot faster than we are. And he drew a Keel Breaker. What are the chances he just uses it if I go for Abyssal Eye? I think there's a fairly decent chance that he just goes for it. So in that case, I think I'm going to play... Viktor just to get this out of him. He doesn't go for it. We try. Come on, give me elusive. Quick attack's not bad. We're just going to attack. He's got the Keel Breaker anyway, so it doesn't really matter. He lets me go for it? 26 to 29.
Protect our grove.
We're going for Hexcore Upgrade on the chance that we get some healing. Now he's elusive. Figures, right? Maybe should have put out the Mechanized Mimic first. But... I think we go for it now, don't we? We should have put it out just to buffer up. He's almost deep.
They said I can be whoever I want.
You already are, and so much more.
Bet you weren't expecting this. And we're just gonna take the damage. All we need is another elusive hit, plus I've got these ignitions, and I've got iterative improvement for things like the ballistic bot. So I've got a couple of things I can work with here. I'm quite a ways away from deep. I didn't draw my drug dredgers. I got a shipwreck hoarder if I really want to use that. What's Nautilus at? 20 of 25.
Safety disengaged. A ticket to the gun show.
He's not going to use Killbreaker until he levels up the Maokai, so we're pretty safe. At least I don't think he will. We want to use this because we want to try to get Spell Shield. me Spell Shield. Fearsome. That prevents you from going deep, though. I'm not gonna put this out.
Metal is perfection.
We just need him to use the Kill Breaker.
One-size papers, now faces. Our goals are greater than petty violence. Blessed vengeance. I refuse to wilt.
What's he at? He levels up. But we actually have our Nautilus though. And we got Lost Riches as well. That's funny.
Put on a
Go
brave
here.
face.
All I need is the elusive units.
Give them room to spread.
And he's gonna want to play Kill Breaker after this. I actually have a counter to these tosses, which is pretty funny. Now I'm deep. So he made me go deep. Alright, so we can just use Nautilus and then all of our big cards should go back into our hand, right? Or into our deck. Or not. I guess we still have Lost Riches though. Killbreaker makes it very awkward for him. He kills his Maokai. He kind of needs to use Treasure Trove here and hope that he gets a good card, but he's like, but if I use Treasure Trove and don't get anything good, then he's still got these elusive units. And then he can just open attack and kill me. And he's right. I could do that. Plus, I've got the Abyssal Eyes as well. I want to make sure I don't overdraw though.
Their ideas stagnate.
That's annoying.
Another brilliant design.
Spell Shield. Come on, give me a Spell Shield. Give me a Spell Shield. Come on. Regeneration. That doesn't help. Yeah, so this is kind of what we expected here. And that's about all we can do. Pretty awful card. So I think we go with Abyssal Eye. Three cards left. We can put down double Abyssal Eye. We can put down Shipwreck Hoarder. Which I think we have to do here. So we toss 2 and put in 2. Now we can draw 1. Can't use it though.
One sling, a bunch of targets.
There we attack. And he surrenders. Okay, we got the win, just barely. Just barely got the win. Gotta see more of the Nautilus win there, and that was a traditional deep deck as well, I think. Well, traditional, as far as the new traditional goes with Sea Scarabs and things like that. So that was that's pretty cool that we actually won.